We all have that moment in time, be it death, because now we look at life again, be it financial crash or devastation. For
Hmm.
other people, it could be a health scare, but there's something that stops us in the moment that causes us to re-examine our lives to say, where do we want to go? Who do I want to be? Is this it? There's a quote by Les Brown, and it says that the graveyard is the richest place on earth because in it are all of the hopes and dreams deferred, all the cures that could have happened, all the books that could have been written, the songs that could have been sung, but people didn't because they stayed stuck
Yeah.
and they allowed life to overtake them. And really, when we make that decision, it's renewing and coming up with a different mindset on how we are choosing to go forward.
What's up, you beautiful beasts? I'm Katie. I'm on a mission to help humans become the best possible versions of themselves and to strive for overall health, mental health, emotional health, physical health, all of the healths, without ever having to step on a scale. I have had the privilege to talk to all kinds of different humans who've been through a plethora of experiences just being a human and existing. I believe that every single time somebody shares their story, at least one person listening will learn from it, be inspired by it, and maybe, just maybe, even change the entire direction of their life. These are the stories of humans unveiling their beautiful beast. Keep listening. This is the Unveiling the Beast podcast. What's up, you beautiful beasts? Welcome back to the show. Today I got to hang out with Cheryl Verrett, who helps women 45 and over take those dreams off the shelf that they put there to do other things in their life and move forward with them. So, awesome conversation. Stick around. As always, I hope something lands with you today. I hope something you hear tugs on your heartstrings, and or I hope you laugh. How are you, my friend?
I am awesome, Katie. Excited to be here with you on
Yeah,
this particular podcast, right? Like, I always enjoy having conversations with you.
you too. I think you're the first person I spoke to in ECCP. So when we did our breakout rooms.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you hold a
There's a
special
bond.
place in my heart.
There's a bond.
Yeah. So can you tell the listeners a little bit about who you are?
Awesome. Hey everyone, my name is Cheryl Verrett. I am a coach, speaker, and author. And for the past 20 years plus, let me probably say 30 years, I have actually been traveling, coaching, and training women all around the world on how to live a life that's fulfilled. And I just believe that my mission right now is to work with women who are in their second season of life, just to shatter those limiting beliefs that keep them playing small, to create a life that's absolutely fulfilling, where they just wake up and they're like, yes, I get to live. And that they have a life that's exciting, that they love. And I always tell people this is the background conversation. We want women who are over the ages of, we'll say, 45 and plus, to really snatch their sexy back, get their
Mm,
confidence back, and just fall in love with themselves and who they can be.
I love it. Can it count if I'm 38? Can I
It
pretend
can.
I'm 45?
It can. It can. Life starts to change a little bit once you hit 45. Like, our bodies do something a little different.
Yeah.
Our hormones are playing like this whirlwind of this circus on this merry-go-round. And there are a lot of thoughts of what could have. Did I miss it? Am I enough? And
Yeah.
what's next? And so that can leave people in a place of just despair and hopelessness. And it's not too late. So I just think that what I really want to share with women and people is, it's just not too late to live the life that you want to live, to design, deliver, and just become the best version of themselves, right? The one that lights them up. And it's not
Yeah.
too late to be able to create the life that they want to. Like there's a path. I've so many women that I've worked with, Katie, they've come to me and they said, you know what, I don't know how to create a blueprint of my future. I don't know how to stop these voices that are in my head that's telling me that it's too late. And I spent all my time over there focusing in on my kids, on my family, on, at this age, we're taking care of our parents and
Yeah.
just life. And then we put our dreams on the shelf. And what I endeavor to do, I say that's okay. Because who told you to put a period where God put a comma, right? So let's just take that book off the shelf. Let's dust off all those cobwebs and let's open it up and let's start writing the book called You. Who do you want to be? How do you want to design your life? How do you want to live out loud? It's time to live fulfilled.
Yeah. I love that too, because so many people I meet have that I should have started sooner, or it's too late for me, but especially focusing on the I should have started sooner. It's like, well,
Yeah,
you're starting now and that's better than never.
it's
So
better than never.
get it.
You know when the best time to start, Katie? The next best time to start, other than then, is right now. So you're one step closer to your dream than if you never started. And what happens is if we never start, we allow those voices to come into our head to tell us all the coulda, woulda, shouldas, and we get stuck. And then life is passing us by, and we don't know it, because if we're not moving, we're going backwards and backwards and backwards, and life is moving ahead of you. And then you look around, you're like, wow, now I'm really depressed. So what I try to do is to tell people to just take one step at a time, just one action step every day towards where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
I think about a time where I was stuck, because I think it just happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And I remember the 2000s, my husband and I, we own a real estate mortgage company, and we were really successful, if I must say so, right? And what's my definition of success is not really wanting for anything. And we had all these employees, and we were rocking and rolling, let me put it that way. And then the crash came, and then we were left with nothing. And so I found myself stuck. And then what do you do when you're stuck?
Yeah.
How many of us been stuck before? And when life happened that you didn't expect. And so I had to think about to myself, what am I going to do now? Am I going to stay in this place just really crying my tears, which were reasonable, feeling bad for myself, which I felt justified in doing that. And often we feel justified and it's reasonable for the feelings that we have. But then where do I want to go now? Like, do I want my life to stay here, or do I want to visualize it to go somewhere else? So I remember it took me a while. Like, it doesn't always happen just like that. But for me, what happened is I remember I was in the backyard of my house with my kids, and they looked at me, and I remember them look at it and say, is this it? Is like, does life stop? And I remember their eyes, and my eyes started to water. Their eyes are watering because they're looking to me to make a difference, or their parents, me and my husband.
Yeah.
And I had to say, you know what? This is not it. This is not the end. And so what I had to do was to really visualize where I wanted to see my future, then come up with a plan. Then I had to be focused. And then I had to execute my plan. So I just had to start all over. If I did it before, then I can do it again. And there's a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that says that all the water in the world cannot drown you unless it gets in you. So I use that for me to say, what do I want that's inside of me? What do I want to overcome me and overtake me in order to move me to the next level? Or I could decide to stay stuck and allow all of my dreams and hopes and desires just to die inside of me and drown me and back there in my past. And I just chose that that's not the future that I want for me. That's not the future that I want for my children. And I just felt like people were watching me in that moment. How was I going to get up from this devastation? And as a result of my husband and I getting up and rebuilding our lives, it taught my children how to rebuild their lives and people who are watching us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in that stuck space before.
Mm,
And
mhm.
unfortunately for me, what got me out of it was somebody died
Mm,
because I was in this mindset of what's the point?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
those times when you feel like you're giving 100,000,000% and you're either not getting anything back or you feel like you're invisible or whatever it is. And so for me, I got into this mindset of what's the point? And
Hmm.
then somebody died and the first thing that came to my head was because I can. I'm still here.
Because you
I'm still here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I love that. We all have that moment in time, be it death, because now we look at life again, be it financial crash or devastation.
Mm-hmm.
For other people, it could be a health scare, but there's something that stops us in the moment that causes us to re-examine our lives to say, where do we want to go? Who do I want to be? Is this it? There's a quote by Les Brown, and it says that the graveyard is the richest place on earth because in it are all of the hopes and dreams deferred, all the cures that could have happened, all the books that could have been written, the songs that could have been sung, but people didn't because they stayed stuck
Yeah.
and they allowed life to overtake them. And really, when we make that decision, it's renewing and coming up with a different mindset on how we are choosing to go forward. It starts with a choice, a decision, and then we create that path. And that's what I enjoy working with women to create these new paths because they think, I don't even know how. I don't even know where to get started. So then I
Yeah.
help women and I coach them to like create that path, that blueprint to the life that they want to live. Right. We do that with our coaching, Katie. You do it as a coach. I do it in my coaching business. And so when we think about how do we shatter those beliefs that are
Mm-hmm.
putting the limitations on our dreams, so often we just stop and we pause, or we want to learn how to unleash the desires of our heart because they're still there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how old we are, how our hormones are doing our little thing, or how much our body is giving more of itself to us, or whatever that looks like. There's an opportunity. There's an
Yeah.
opportunity to create the life that you want in order to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this epiphany earlier. Like I've been interviewing a lot of coaches just because, I reached out to our community and everybody was like, yes, 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 they'll interview me. So,
Yay.
and I think it's really cool to be able to um talk to so many people lately who
Mm-hmm.
are actively helping other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I just got this, oh, this is cool, you know, because
Yeah.
I've interviewed people who aren't coaches and they're cool too, but like, or I should say, and
And
um just
yeah.
lately this is a podcast of coaches and people helping other people and we all do it in our different ways. Like my thing is health and unlearning all the crap that diet culture teaches you.
Mm,
Your thing is like women 45 and older and saying it's not too late. And it's so cool. There's all these people I've been talking
yeah.
to just
Yeah.
helping humans helping other humans.
Yeah.
So
And we all come together, right? Like
yeah.
there's always a piece of the puzzle for you because people 45 and over, they need to, like, we've been on all these diets. I've been on a diet before. And how many times have I been on a diet, or you who are listening, that you've tried it before and it failed, and you tried it again and you failed. And then now you start to say, like, these diets don't work. My body will never change. I can't do it. And we start to come down on ourselves. And we need coaches such as you to help us to get out of that stinking thinking so
Yeah.
that we can live the best life that we can. So you have all these different coaches in different areas that are coming, and we all support each other. and we all
Yeah.
make the world a better place. Like you said, a better place for humans to live, right? And,
Yeah.
and just to feel fulfilled. And I know that I don't have all the answers. And I look forward to working with other people in the community and around the world. And that's how I operate, to say, okay, now you have a piece of the puzzle that I don't have. And so let's come together and share your information with my people, and I'll do that with yours. And so it's
Yeah.
just really, we're making the world a better place.
Yeah. And it's helping humans. Like, I mean, in a way, it is helping humans be healthy in all aspects, but it's
Yeah,
helping a human be a human,
yeah, yeah,
you know? So it's just, I love this work that I'm in. And I'm very grateful that for all the yeses I've been getting for people
yeah,
talking on this podcast. So I
yeah.
appreciate you. And I'm
Yes, I
gonna
appreciate
cry.
you too. I appreciate you too, Katie. I do.
Yeah.
You know, I stop and think about just what you just said.
Hmm.
You imagine all the people who are listening to your podcast, and they come back and they listen to the replays, and they have the opportunity to listen to you, and all of the great information from all the different guests that you've had over and over again. So they get a chance just to grow,
Yeah.
themselves in the different areas in a very safe community with real conversations with real people in order to become better. And if we just change one life, and they change 12, and then one of those 12 change a life, and then they change 12 and affect other lives, like there's a movement that could happen
Yeah.
just from your yes.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. And you know, the whole point is, it says it in the intro. If just one person gets a nugget that could change their life from this episode, mission
Yeah,
accomplished.
mission
And I
accomplished.
don't need praise for it.
Yeah,
I want to, I don't even know how to word what I want in the world, but like the past me would need praise.
mm,
Oh, look what I'm doing. I
yeah,
have this amazing podcast, but now it's like, this podcast is for the people. It's not for me.
yeah,
So, and I enjoy these conversations so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can have both, right? And
Yes.
but not that you want the praise for it.
Hmm.
It's not even that. It's just as a result of your obedience, as a result of your yes, as a result of you saying that I want to be the change. Like, we all have identified different problems in the world, and there's some who just identify it. There's some who fuss and are angry about it. And then there are some who are disturbed and say, you know what, I'm gonna be a part of the change.
Yeah.
And we all have a part of that puzzle, and it just looks different. And sometimes we discount uh, the movements that we make. But every time that we use our voice, every time we say yes in whatever fashion or form, whatever that looks like, then we all again are collectively coming together to make a difference. And so it's your yes, Katie, and your at a girl, for lack of a better phrase or whatever we want to say, really is coming from the people that you're touching, the lives that you're touching, and the results that you may not even ever see. But somebody's
Yeah.
going to hear something, and it's going to change the trajectory of the lives of their children and their families and their communities, because we only need one word. One word could change everything, like, and it turns that light switch on, and we're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got it. I got it. And so to me, that's what you're doing. You're unleashing the beautiful beast within. We all have that, right? So
Yeah.
let's unleash it and just be ourselves in whatever way that looks, and be who God called us to be, so that we can be fulfilled, and that we can live that marvelous life where we're on fire. You know what, Katie? If there were no limitations, what I would really want, I want to create something so where inside of women, when they wake up and their feet touch the ground, they're like, I get to live
Yeah.
another day, right? Like, excited, I'm on fire. But
Yeah.
where did that fire go? Why are we barely getting a flicker?
Yeah.
You know, what are the limitations that are stopping us from saying yes to allowing our light to shine bright? From some to even striking that match to try to even get a fire. and
Yeah.
some to just say, you know what, I'm gonna leave those matches on the ground. I'm not even gonna try. But it's through your podcast and people having a conversations where they know it's possible. No, let me pick up those sticks. And I just really think that it doesn't matter where people are
Mm-hmm.
in their journey, whether they're looking at the sticks, whether they have them in their hand, or they've already allowed the light to just flicker, the fire to start to burn. It's okay because we're
Yeah.
all on a journey. Just don't quit. Just don't stop. That's my
Yeah.
thing. Just keep going.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Where are you right now with your sticks?
I love that. You know what, Katie? I have my stick. Imagine this is fire, and I'm like, so, you know what? I am really excited about life right now. And I just believe that I am on fire. I have created through years of work and this whole journey. You know, before I even say that, so oftentimes when people look, they go, oh, okay, she's on fire. Because you just asked that question, right? Like she has a business, she's coaching, she's traveling around the world, speaking, transforming lives. You know, she did all these different things. But what they
Mm-hmm.
don't know is that there's a story behind it to where it didn't look like that, you know, to where I felt like I missed my opportunity, not only with my business, but then just in life, period. And
Yeah.
Kate, I remember when I turned 50, right? And I was blowing out those candles. And as I was, you know, they were singing, make a wish, make a wish. And I went to blow, and there was an overwhelming feeling of sadness where it should have been happiness that kind of
Mm.
came over because I'm like, man, I'm 50 and I had all these different dreams that I had, and I put them on the shelf, which is where my story comes from because I know how people feel. And I put them on the shelf in order to go ahead and push forward some others, which I'm okay with that. Like my children, I want them to go to college, you know, and my mother
Yeah.
was sick. I get that. And my husband, we had our dreams, and I was pushing everybody over here. But somewhere I forgot about, you know, like my dreams, right? And then I had a little anger, then a little frustration, and then some sadness, you know, and then the
Yeah.
50, like it's too late. And so I had to stop and redesign, like what did I want? Did they stop me? No, it was my choice. And would I do it again? I absolutely would. But what I would do if I had to do it again is I would remind myself that there is an and, or that there's a comma, and it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just a period. That wasn't my end all be all. And then now I find myself at 50 at that time, and I was trying to figure out what to do. So what I did is I had to start writing things down and really taking some time to myself, and like, where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? How do I want to show up at, you know, this the second chapter of my life, right?
Yeah.
How do I make the next chapter my best chapter? And so then I created a plan. And then I said, what is it that's holding other people back, just like me? I want to show them the steps that I've taken. And it may not be for everybody, but it's for some people.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I did, and this is what you can do. And this is how we can show up and how we can live that life that is totally exciting, totally on fire, where you're feeling fulfilled no matter where you are. Yeah.
I love that. And you are you're very close to going into this 100%, right? You're getting ready to
Yes.
retire and
Yes.
start at the same time, right?
Don't make me jump and dance around here. Yes, I am so excited. So excited. So, you know, I've been putting everything in place. And you and I, we were in the coaching classes
Mm-hmm.
together. And even though I had been training and coaching, I wasn't, and counseling actually, in another way, I wasn't certified. And so even though I had my master's degree, I wanted to become certified as a coach. And I just think that the lanes are a little different. We overlap a little bit, coaching and counseling, but I wanted to coach people. I want people to, I want to give them that
Yeah.
and push them into their greatness. And so I have extended my date since the last time I talked to you, and I'm putting it out there. My date is it is March 21st, 2025. I will be done. I am out. And the only reason
And
why
you
I
just
push,
said it on this podcast, so
I said it on
I'll
the
be calling you
podcast, you
on that
guys.
day. I'll be
And
checking up on you.
I have it out there. Baby, it's out there. So I have that date because I gave myself one more year, because it's also important as a part of the plan is to make sure everything is in place.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I make the best decision possible? So when I say that's it, I'm done. And so right now I have a small group of coaching clients that I work with, and I have my 8-week course, Master Your Season, which is actually going over the steps on how to create that life that just lights you on fire. And I have written my book, Katie. I have it. Well, I'm a co-author. I don't know if you can
I
see it.
love it.
Voices of the
Yeah.
21st century, resilient women who rise and make a difference. Woo-hoo. And so really that is a part of my journey on where I wanted to be, where I wanted to go. And I want people to learn. So I want to be the example. So right now I am coaching, speaking to women when I'm invited to the churches, to the colleges. Sometimes I have been asked to go and speak overseas. And so wherever the women say, yes, I'm ready for a change and I want to make a difference, then I am there. I would just want to be the example, and I want to have real, authentic conversations. Because that's one thing too, Katie, that I found is a lot of times women, especially business women, and business women who are at a certain level or stage in life, it's really hard to say that I'm feeling a certain way. I'm not feeling the way society has labeled them. Sometimes we think because of our income or our education or our status in a business that we have it all together, and we don't. So if that was the case, then we wouldn't have so many people who are committing suicide, even though they're millionaires, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't have people who are addicted to drugs and alcohol, who are over here in these different, right now, even though they have what people think is it.
Yeah.
So how do you create it in here? And that's what I want to do. I want to share with people how to create it in here. So I'm always available for people. My niche is women. I love women, men, few good men. My niche is 45 and over, but anybody is, I'm available just to speak to women and people of all types in order to share how to live that life that just lights them on fire.
That's awesome. I have a random question for you.
Sure.
And it's more of like I don't want to say selfish question, but
Sure.
one of the things I have not done yet is public speaking. So and I took public speaking in college, and I wanted to vomit every time I went to class. But my question is, how do you stand on a stage and not be afraid? Or do you? Or do you get afraid when you stand on a stage?
I love that question. That is so funny. How many people want to know that answer, right? And,
yeah.
One of the things I learned as being a coach with Lisa Nichols, and she is one of the world-renowned speakers in the world right now. And she told us to speak from right here. Speak to that one as to many. So find that one person in the room and you speak to that person and you identify your niche. And the other thing that I learned is that when you're speaking out of what you know, what you believe, there's a believability. And when you practice, and then you come and you begin to stand on that stage and you're like, they need that information. If they don't have that information, their life will never change. Like, they have what I need. I have to give them that information, or I've missed the mark right now, right? So when you're standing on that stage and you're like, look, I have to do this, it's inside of me, then you will begin to share. So you will find somebody. This is a side. You find somebody who has that you're connecting with, like you can scan the room and you'll see people throughout the room. And so when I'm standing on my stages and I scan the room, I find different people that are connecting with me, and you can feel them pulling from me, like, I want more information, like, or, they're rooting for me. Then I just kind of pick them for a while until I get comfortable. And I'm like, okay. And do I feel a little uncomfortable before I get on the stage? It's absolutely every time, because I just want to, it means so much that you want to get out there and you want to share. And when I get out there, and if I'm a little nervous for whatever reason, sometimes it could be intimidating. And I would just take a breath, and I would just ground myself, and I would stop, and I would scan the room. They don't know what I'm doing, right? I'm just scanning the room, and they're like, okay, what is she doing? And then I open up my mouth, because I would rather not babble. I would rather just take a breath. And then they're like, what did she do? Oh, it must be good.
That lean. I love the lean.
And so then you go.
Yeah.
And you just start. And preparation, and just knowing who you are, and that you've been called for such a time as this.
Yeah. I know for me, I just need to do it. I don't think I've ever. Well, it's funny because I haven't spoken on a stage, but I'm a performer. I'm an actor. I used to do stage acting. I'm a singer. I'm in a band. I dress in costume, and like, I have no problem doing that. But there's something about the thought of standing on a stage and just talking to people. However, I've never tried it. And lately I am a woman on fire, and maybe it'll be the same as, like, I used to be terrified to turn a camera on and make a video. And now I turn it on and I talk, and then I'm like, ooh, hey, did that come from me?
You know, it's just like that. It's just like that. When you know your subject matter, and you're passionate about your subject matter, and you have your, the keys that you want to share. Like, I know no matter what, I want to share these different keys right here, and it's a must. And you take your breath, you know that you've got this, you remind yourself, I've got this. And then you just walk on out there. And then the butterflies, it goes away. It goes away. So it's there at the beginning, for me anyway. And then as I begin to speak, and as I begin to share, then it goes away. And Katie, I used to speak every week for the past 12 years. And then I took a pause for a little while. And every time I got up there was a moment to where I had to remind myself, no, open up your mouth and then begin to speak. You've got this. And then I would, and then it was okay. And it was funny. Sometimes different people would be in the crowd, and I was like, it's the different ones. And then afterwards, I'm like, you know what? They needed to.
Yeah. Yeah. And thinking about it, I do get nervous before I go on to sing. And then I just turn that energy into power behind my voice.
Yes.
Which is why I'm so good. Just kidding.
Can I hear a little bit, Katie?
Trying to think of what I would sing. It's funny. I just made a new Instagram for my husband, and I are going to start writing music and doing covers.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm blanking though. Like what?
A little blurb. What's your favorite song?
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
I've never done this on a podcast before. Okay, hold on. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Thanks.
You have a beautiful voice. Listen.
Thank you.
You maybe, since that's what you're doing, you need to put a little blurb of that in your podcast. Every now and then, put a little singing in there so people know that that's what you do. Beautiful voice.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you, and thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. And just don't make me do the scream, because I do like 80s rock band screaming too. So I don't think I can do that in here because it's so loud. I'll blow out my own eardrums. I'll send you a video though.
No, that's awesome. You should let the world know what you got.
Okay, I will. I do have one more question for you, which is,
Sure.
if you had one piece of advice that you could give to the world, what would it be?
If I had one piece of advice, I would say to be yourself and continue to stretch for your dreams as you believe in yourself, no matter what. No matter what's in front of you, no matter uh, uh, the obstacles that you see, even if you don't even know how you're going to achieve it, create or visualize where you want to go, and then create that path on how to get there. Just stay focused on that path to create the life that you want, so you can live a life that's fulfilled, and then you can share that information in your life with others around you. Yeah. I just want people to be fulfilled. I want them to be excited. Don't stop. Don't put your dreams on the shelf. I don't know if I can come up with one, Katie. Pull that book off, blow off those cobwebs, and just start today. Just start today. One committed action every day, one step at a time. Don't quit, and connect with other people around you that will help build you up. Like, for the example, this podcast. So many different coaches are on there. So many different people are sharing their information that they can just listen right here to your podcast, Katie, and just glean different parts of life to build them up in order to be the best person that they want to be. So, intentionality.
I love it. I'm going to drop my mic for you. Oh, no, I can't. Do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl Verrett signing off. Until next time.
Bye, you guys.